guys, welcome back to Six Side Calcio. Today I'm back with a special guest. It's just me and a very special guest of ours, Matthew Grutta. So I'm just going to give him a couple of minutes to let him introduce himself and what he does and all that good stuff. So Matthew, take it away.
Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Matthew, fellow Juventino, of course. And we're here to talk about Juventus and Lyon, of course, and what we need to do to prepare for the Champions League tomorrow.
Yeah, sounds good. So we're going to go straight into the action. Just briefly before we get into that, just want to say congratulations to Inter on the Europa League win against Getafe yesterday at the time of recording, and unfortunately Roma couldn't get the job done. We'll get more into depth of that on the next podcast, though. Okay, so heading into Juve-Lyon, it's an interesting game, 1-0 down. The game's in Torino, of course, but with no fans, which is never fun, never good. What do you think is a possible outcome? What does Juventus need to do to overcome the one goal deficit? And could it be done?
I believe, it could be done. They need to really have a game plan going. The past few games have been really bad since the start has happened. If they do come out with a game plan, and it's not only all eyes on Ronaldo, right? They all got to play as a team. I do believe that they can make the comeback, official like they did last year. The team was really good last year when they came back with Atletico, and I really think it could be done because we play more games than Lyon because the French league did get cancelled, so there is a possibility. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out is I watched Lyon in the Coupe de la Ligue. I think that was the cup name against PSG, and they looked really sharp for a team that hasn't been playing and has just been training. So that's one of my main factors that worries me a bit is that they really went toe to toe with PSG, took them all the way to penalties, couldn't get the job done there. But Anthony Lopez is a solid keeper. If we could get Lyon in penalties, I'll be throwing a party. The guy's not a good penalty saver, but in the actual game when it matters, he's a solid keeper. He's going to cause a lot of problems. But I saw Sadi's press conference earlier, and he was saying that Ronaldo scored a beautiful goal in training, and he's ready. He has a different mentality for this Lyon game, and I sure hope so. Obviously, those reports came off that I'm trying to think here. The reports came that Ronaldo wanted to go to PSG before the COVID, and now he's happy in Torino. I don't know if those are true or what's happening there, but let's just hope it fuels Ronaldo's fire.
I don't really believe every report I see till it's actually official and confirmed.
Yeah.
But if it was really true about the PSG thing, I really don't blame him because a player of that caliber deserves better on a team. And we are honestly failing him right now because Fabio Patrizzi really sold like half of our team the last summer window, unfortunately. So I really don't blame him in that aspect. But it just like Napoli had Maradona, right? Inter had Ronaldo, but just to have Ronaldo on Juventus is really like a big thing. But we do really need to build around him, and we really could have a Champions League. It's not all about Serie A. So I really hope that tomorrow the team really does good around him because I really am nervous because Danilo's a little bit shaky. Our defense is not really good. We're like blowing leads, right? So it's not really good right now. And I know Lyon took advantage of us that game. So we really need to turn things around defensively and offensive-wise. We really need to make plays. And I really don't like how every time we start the game and we pass it to Bonucci and he just kicks it up, and we lose possession like that. Like, they really need to change their game plan.
Yeah, I agree. And there's like you were saying with Danilo being shaky, it was kind of a roll of the dice for Sadi. What he wanted, it was either Bernardeschi at that right winger spot, and then Cuadrado at the right back, or Cuadrado right winger and Danilo right back. So it was really a roll of the dice. But I don't know if you saw the projected lineup for tomorrow. If you did, just let me know what your thoughts on the projected lineup. Is there anything you would change in that sort of nature?
Really, the lineups are not really something I like get pressured by. it's more of the thing of we haven't been even playing good even with a good lineup out there. They like Juventus really did show in Serie A, like example Udinese, where we just go out there and we just play like chickens without heads, right? We don't come up with a game plan at all. And it's not like what we had with Allegri, where we have the drive, the motivation to score a goal and defend, because Juventus is like that team. We score one goal, we defend the rest of the game. And I haven't really seen that this year, because we get a 2-0 lead and supposedly we're losing 3-2, 4-2, example, the AC Milan game. So
Yeah,
I am really nervous about tomorrow, because I do want the UEFA Champions League a lot, and, tomorrow's game means everything for the season.
Yeah, like you said, tomorrow's game is the biggest game for Juventus right now. Obviously, they almost choked the Scudetto, but now that we have the Scudetto won, the Coppa Italia, obviously we lost that to Napoli. But now our main focus and our only focus is the Champions League. It's going to be difficult. First of all, we have that 1-0 deficit to overturn. Hopefully, we could do it with the right mentality and right play style from Sadi and Martesquilo, whatever they decide to draw up on the drawing board. And on top of that, we have to, after that, we're going to have a tough bracket to the final. But if this team has the mentality and willpower to do it, I think it's possible. But the only thing that's stopping us right now is Olympic Lyon. The only thing I'm really scared and worried of the first leg, we obviously got a little lucky. Memphis Depay was injured. Now this leg, he's returned, so it's going to be interesting to see how we facilitate Depay and the rest of the Lyon players. And but what are your thoughts on potentially having some substitutes on the bench? Like if the game plan's not going to plan of Sadi, what players do you bring on to make that impact? Because we have a couple of injuries that are losing it.
Well, unfortunately, we are missing Douglas Costa, a really big part of our offense. I really do hope Dybala really shows up tomorrow if he returns. If he's on the bench, I hope he comes as a super sub, because we really don't have anyone on the bench to really spark up the offense. Unfortunately, we have all these young guys. But I really do hope that our starters really show what they're made of tomorrow, especially Ronaldo. I'm expecting Ronaldo to really have a big game tomorrow. If they start Higuain, which I think they are, I really do hope Higuain shapes up, because he's really been out of form for quite some time now. So I really hope the offense really shows up tomorrow and the defense stays strong, especially De Ligt. He's impressed me a lot ever since the break.
Yeah, I hope that goal Higuain scored against Roma really gave him some confidence, because he's that type of player. When he doesn't score for a while, his head's always down and he doesn't play as well. But when he scores, he gets that confidence back. His self-esteem is higher, and he tends to be more aggressive on the ball and off the ball. So hopefully that goal against Roma really helps him against Lyon. And same goes with Bernardeschi and Ronaldo. Ronaldo, the last time those two played together in a second leg Champions League round 16 tie, it was magic against Atletico Madrid. So hopefully not only could we replicate that, but we could improve on that and never make these comebacks a reality. Even under Allegri, it seemed that these comebacks were always a miracle for Juventus, and we gotta hope that we just punish the teams that we're supposed to punish and not have these comebacks as a reality. But for the other teams, that they don't have a chance to punish us. So
totally agree.
Yeah, so moving on, like I mentioned earlier, I just want to ask you one thing. For this Juventus-Lyon game, obviously we've seen Lyon against PSG go toe-to-toe. Juventus has been struggling, like you said earlier, since the break. What exactly needs to happen for Juventus fans to be, I guess, ease at mind? Like, what's your ideal lineup for tomorrow?
Well, first off, for Juventus fans, just to have faith and be patient and just wait for the game to happen. Don't just say that we're going to lose, go into the game where, we haven't been playing. tomorrow's lineup, I really do hope that he's really better right back than Danilo at the moment. I do have faith in Buffon. I really hope he starts over Szczesny just because Szczesny's been really shaky since the season has come back. I have faith in Buffon always. Left back, Sandro. I really like Sandro, but he's really been off,
Yeah.
Even that game with Milan, we're giving up those crosses, giving Rebic a goal. I really do hope that tomorrow he shows up. Midfield for me, Bentancur always. I really like Bentancur. Rabiot's been our best mid.
I agree.
I really do hope that Ramsey starts just because in the Europe, Ramsey has been playing better than he has been in Serie A. I could admit that. And the front three for me, of course, Ronaldo. Unfortunately, Higuain has to start. And the wing, Bernardeschi. I really do hope that all three of them, they play really well. They link up together. I do know that they're going to be passing to Ronaldo a lot just because, he's had so much success in this league. So I really do hope that, we don't depend on Ronaldo too much, that we have faith in all our players and they come up with a good game plan tomorrow to come back against Lyon because they're a really good side in my opinion. They remind me of Atalanta a lot in the Italian league. They're a really small team, but they can beat bigger teams is what I'm trying to say. So they gave PSG fight for their money. So they're going to show up tomorrow in Turin for sure.
Yes, similar to you, I just got some controversial picks over here. Is there a reason why Pjanic is on the bench over here? Because for me, I think the midfield plays better without Pjanic, but I know I think Sad is going to go with Pjanic for the experience and whatnot. So what's the reason of benching Pjanic and Szczesny?
I really do think benching Pjanic would be ideal just because he plays a slower pace and Lyon plays a faster pace. You could tell, so that'll kill us tomorrow if we do start him. But he's also really good if we do start him just because he's more safe with the cross-ins as Bentancur. He just shoots it out right most of the time. He's not really good with his crosses. Szczesny, I do have trust in Szczesny, but the thing is, it's a little bit shaky with him because Buffon does, of course, have more experience than him. So I would rather have the more experienced goalie in the net just because the defense is not really as good as it used to be. But I do have faith in De Ligt, and I hope Demiral starts tomorrow as well.
So if Demiral starts, who gets sit on the glorious bench? Would it be Bonucci or De Ligt?
I would start De Ligt, to be honest with you. I know Bonucci's been, with Juventus. He's been clutch for all those games, but good things always do come to an end. So De Ligt is our future. He is the star right now. He played great with Ajax last year. He did take us out, so I'm really hoping he takes out Lyon. So.
And one thing that's concern for I guess all Juventus fans around the world is De Ligt's shoulder. He's been playing with that shoulder brace for quite some time now, and he said he's not going to shoulder surgery until the campaign's over. So does that worry you, and does that limit his playing time? Let's say we're 2-0 up against Lyon, 2-1 on aggregate. Is that the time to take out a De Ligt and put in a Demiral? Or put in a Chiellini or a Bonucci, depending on the starting lineup?
I do think so, yeah. If I know Lyon will probably challenge De Ligt a lot to fall down on the ground to injure him. I know they'll take advantage of that because he's a big piece in our team this year.
Yeah.
If that does happen, I would put Bonucci because of experience, even though he did frighten me a couple times this season, especially giving Immobile that penalty in the 86th minute. So, but I really do hope De Ligt stays for the full game because I do believe that tomorrow he's going to have a really big game. And I know, he can score as a defender too. And he plays clutch. So I really do hope he stays on with Demiral.
Yeah, because some people, I guess they forget that since this COVID, it's been a while since the first leg. But the only reason why Olympique Lyon scored was because De Ligt was injured. He was bleeding from the head, and when he had to come off to get treated, they scored off that set piece. So the only time Lyon scored is when we were 10 men down, and they really took advantage of De Ligt's absence. So hopefully he's all good, because if he goes back on the sidelines again for another set piece, I think a lot of Juventus fans had deja vu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
let's just hope our midfield doesn't really let our defenders do all the work as well.
Yeah.
We need everyone to pitch in and stay as a team, because if they do that tomorrow, like they did the first leg, we're really in trouble tomorrow. So I really do hope Sadi does change things around. Cristiano Ronaldo is a big motivation. Having a big player like that, like example AC Milan with Ibra, things could really turn around.
Yeah, because going back to what you said earlier about Pjanic, playing very slow paced football over here, it does seem when Pjanic is on the field, he always passes it back to like Bonucci, De Ligt, whoever it may be, and they always have to do like the long balls up, which is obviously harder to do from back there than it is where Pjanic's position is.
Right.
But what I see is when Bentancur plays that role, he always likes to bring the ball towards the right or the left side of the field and run with the ball a little more forward and boost it up from there. So I think that gives a more creativity edge. Unfortunately, I do think the experience of Pjanic is going to give him the nod here with Rabiot and Bentancur playing more of a midfielder than a playmaker role. But anyway, do you see whether we're losing, winning, or if it's a close game, do you see any of the younger guys coming on, like we saw against Roma, the Zamayakas and the Olivieris, those types of players? Do you see them having any minutes coming on by chance?
Probably near the end, if well, hopefully we're not losing, but like if it's a tie or something, I really do hope Olivetti does come on. I did really see a spark of pace in him that I really liked on the wing. He did take a nice, really hard angle shot that almost went in on Roma. So I really do hope that he comes on too. Other than that, I really do hope our starters really show up instead of the bench, to be quite honest with you. But the younger guys, it's always good for them to have experience too in Europe.
Yeah, well said. So, okay, moving on. As much as we love talking about Juventus and stuff, there's we are a Serie A, and we want every Serie A team to succeed in Europe. So the other big game, obviously Juventus-Lyon, Juventus need to get a win there. But the big game that's getting all of Italy excited is Napoli versus Barcelona. Obviously tied 1-1 on aggregate. Matthew, so what do you think Napoli need to do to, I guess, overcome not this deficit, but as of right now, Barca would go ahead on away goals. So what does Napoli need to do to secure the win? Obviously, it's uncertainty that they're without Lorenzo Insigne. So what needs to happen? What do they need to do to beat Barca and move on to the quarters?
I really do think that they, right off the bat, they really do need to take lots of shots on net like they usually do, and start Milik, of course, because Milik is a big part of that offense ever since the COVID break ended.
Yeah,
I really do hope that they do play man coverage on Messi a lot, but they don't lose concentration on Griezmann either, because I did realize in the first leg that they left Griezmann open really a lot. And I really do hope that Napoli does prevail in that leg and represent Italy, of course. I'm not only going for Juventus, I'm going for all of Italy. So if it's either a Napoli, Atalanta, I really do hope they show up. Napoli tomorrow, I really do hope Insigne, he scores. I really like Insigne on that team. I hope the defense really does, they clutch up, especially Koulibaly. He's been a little bit shaky, so I really do hope tomorrow that it goes in their favor.
Yeah, just going off of what you said, Koulibaly's been shaky off the start, but since, I want to say since January, February, especially since the COVID return, Koulibaly's really been back to his old self. Hopefully Insigne, I know they're not sure if he's going to be playing yet. I think they're waiting for the medical staff, so hopefully he's good enough to play, because he's a huge spark and motivator for Napoli's team. But if he can't, Malik really needs to step up big.
So as well. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. the whole team needs to step up in general. I really do. I would rely on Mertens a lot just because he's been scoring a
Yeah.
lot recently, and he broke the record with Hamzik. So it's really good. Napoli has a great chance, and I do really think, for the first time in Europe, I'm really saying it, that Napoli does have a chance to beat Barcelona, and I hope all the fans hear this from a Juventus fan that I'm rooting for them, and I do really think that they'll move on. I really do.
Yeah, one of the bigger controversies for Napoli, one of the, I guess, debates is who starts in net. Who would you give your nod to? Do you give it to Meret or Ospina?
Oh no, I would give it to Meret hands down. I do know Ospina, his experience and all, but I'd give it to Meret. He reminds me of when Donnarumma first started, he reminds me of something like that. He makes key saves. He saves penalty shots, speaking from the Juventus Coppa Italia. He's really clutch. I do like him, and he is Italy's future, so why not give him a chance?
Yeah. The only thing that worries me about Meret starting is I don't know. Obviously, Danny's not available today, so he can't really comment on this. But for all the Napoli fans, just let us know on Twitter what's exactly happening, because I know there's reports saying that Meret's going to go to Torino on like a loan basis, and Sirigu to Napoli.
Right.
So I think the faith in Meret is lost by Gattuso. I think Gattuso's trying to get him out. I don't think he's the biggest fan of him. So if that's the case, and there's been like a falling out, I do see Ospina starting. But other than that, maybe if Meret starts, is to prove himself to Gattuso, saying, "Listen, I'm here to fight for my place. Don't bring me to Torino. Let me stay in Napoli, prove myself." So I think that could be a huge possibility.
Yeah, and then again, like, Napoli's defense really has to step up. Like, Meret needs a team behind him, and I know Meret can make those key saves, and he's a bright star, and tomorrow he needs that chance. He needs that European start tomorrow, and I mark my words, Napoli fans will open up their eyes once they see Meret start against Barcelona. I really do hope that he'll prove the haters wrong, and for sure Gattuso 110%.
Yeah, so on Barca's end, where Napoli get a little advantage. Obviously, the disadvantage is saying they might not be able to play if he's not fit enough. But on their advantage, Arturo Vidal has a red card, suspended, so he can't play against Napoli. And the biggest advantage is Artur Melo. I call him the Aardvark. He won't be available to Barca at all during this campaign, because he chose. I guess he was pissed off about them selling him, them forcing them out to Juve. So he said he's staying in Brazil. He's not playing for Barca anymore. He's not leaving Brazil until he needs to come to Torino to play for Juventus. So I want to know, what are your thoughts on that whole situation with Arthur and not wanting to play for Barca? Because on the other end of the spectrum, Pjanic just said, I'm going to forget I signed for Barca and play for Juve because they deserve a Champions League. I want to give it my all. So you kind of have two different mentalities of players. One who doesn't want to play because he's upset, and the other guy who's still playing and likely to start tomorrow in a big game. And
right.
Forgetting he's signed for Barca. So just what are your thoughts on that whole situation over there?
Well, of course, yeah. No one knows what happens behind closed doors. No one really knows the full truth about it. But from what I heard with him is, his coach gives him problems whenever he doesn't want to play for him. And you know what? If he feels that way, I totally agree with him. And he could. I know the deal is that he's got to wait till after the Champions League, but I do fully agree with where he's coming from, and especially with Pjanic, that's really hard. I really appreciate what Pjanic actually did for staying, but unfortunately, Saudi probably won't even be starting him. But just to have him there is pretty good. But with the Arthur thing, I really do feel bad for him in a way, but I don't really disagree with him on why he doesn't want to play for Barca anymore. So I do really hope that he comes to Juventus as soon as possible, because the midfield is really lacking for his experience as well.
Yeah, and just picking back off of what you said, I think the main reason is with Pjanic, it wasn't. It's not like Juventus told Pjanic you're going to Barca for this player, and Pjanic rejected. Pjanic was pretty open to the fact that I think he was one of the key factors saying, I want to leave, I want to go to Barca. I think it's
Yeah.
a good opportunity for me. And then with Arthur, he just came from Barca. I think this is his first season. And like he said, he wants to play for Barca. It's been months that he said, I don't want to go to Juventus. I want to stay here in Barca. I don't want to leave for, Juve. And it's gone to a point where even like Messi has said he could be the next Xavi. I don't know how true that is. But, a lot of the players and coaching staff really have a liking for Arthur, so I don't think there's a problem in that aspect. I think it's just a problem of Bartomeu just building around Messi and trying to make Messi's final years at Barca winning years, as they've struggled to win Champions League for the last 5 years. And I think the project is just get like experienced players for now to win Champions League now, instead of like the future, because Artur's a really bright future. And so in his aspect, when you're begging your club for months and months, similar to what Dybala did when he was linked to Tottenham and United, he said, I want to stay and fight for my place, and thank God we listened to him. If we sold him, I don't know what this team would have been this year. But
I don't know either.
Yeah, but with Artur, he begged for months, and they still said, like, listen, you're not playing if you don't leave. Like, we want you gone. Basically, they basically kicked him out of. There's no reason for him to play. Like, why would he play if he got kicked out? He doesn't feel loved. He doesn't feel respect.
I really do think this is Barca's like final attempt on winning the Champions League this year, just because of all the players around them are getting older. I know the experience is there, but if they verse like a young team, just to say, for example, Atalanta or something, they'll have a really hard time. And I really think Atalanta could beat them. And I really do think that Napoli will prevail in this leg. I really hope so. And I know they can take advantage of it because they do have younger legs, Napoli. So we'll see what happens in that. But the Arthur thing, I really do think Barcelona is losing a really young key player, and they should really keep him. But the deal is finalized now, and Juventus is really grateful on that. So I really do think Juventus is getting a really good player for now and the future for sure.
Yeah, I don't know legally what Arthur could do, but the only thing that gets me a little I guess not mad, but a little disappointed is the fact that he's in Brazil right now. I understand he doesn't want to play for Barca, but I think the thing that makes most sense, I don't know like what the contract says he can and can't do, so I don't know if he could do this, but I think it'd be really smart if he would come to Italy, come to Italy, meet the players, meet the coach, sees like what's needed of him. Maybe watch the Champions League game from the stands in a nice Juventus jersey, just to give it to the Barca board. But and I don't know if he could like legally do that. I don't know if like I don't know. I know I'm pretty sure he can't.
No, I think he can even get fined too if he does that, because I do believe the contract is after the Champions League is over, you can go to your new team. I think that's what Pjanic has said too. So,
I see.
But there is a problem with management and coach-wise that's making him stay in Brazil and not go back to Barcelona. But then again, I don't really know too much about it, but I do really hope that – I wish that he was in the lineup tomorrow for our midfield. I really do. I wish.
That would be nice, yeah. But I would have really loved to see him like even like just in the city of Torino, like getting used to the teammates and building the chemistry before the next season, so when next season starts, he could start off fresh instead of like the Rabiot situation. When Rabiot came, he was on the bench for a whole year, and it took him until the COVID restart for him to finally get into form. He let his hair down from that bun, and he's been playing phenomenally. So I really hope Artur speeds up the not recovery, but speeds up the potential that we have for him. I really hope he shows it right from the get-go. Obviously, it's going to take a couple of games to get used to, but I really hope it's not. I really hope it's not as long as Rabiot. And like I've said before, it does the Serie A. I don't care if he plays shit in the Serie A as long as he plays good in the Champions League, because we've shown it year in year out. This is one of the worst Juventus teams from the past 9 years. We had a new coach.
This is one of the worst teams we had.
Yeah, we had a new coach who, in my opinion, doesn't have the winning mentality, doesn't have the hunger. This was his first domestic title, so maybe it gives him. Obviously, he's won in Europa League with a stacked Chelsea team, but now he's won a domestic title with Juventus, the Scudetto, the biggest one he could get in Italy. and
Of course,
hopefully he
yeah.
could prevail in the Champions League. But
I
like
really
I
do hope
said,
so.
Juventus just has such a strong team, and even with this incredibly weak midfield that we didn't care to fix since 2015, we're still managing to win Scudetto after Scudetto. So it goes to show you the not the lack of competition, but I I love how the competition is growing in Italy now. But before the like if Lazio or Inter or Atalanta would have capitalized and won games that they were supposed to win, we easily would have lost the Scudetto. But since they didn't have that mentality of winning in a while, I guess
Right.
they let us slip away, and Juventus prevailed champions. So I think a whole new system is required, and give Sarri the players he wants to play the style he wants, as long as we brush up on defense a bit, and I think we'll be fine.
Yeah. Then again, with Sarri's situation, us Juventus fans really should like maybe cut some slack on Sarri's point of view, just because in Juventus he doesn't really have anything to play around with as we used to have on our bench like last year. Like even for example, like the 2014 and 2015 season we had our bench, we had midfielders and strikers coming out of you know what. Like we had everyone. Like 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 in the Coppa Italia, we won our first Coppa Italia in how many years in 2015 because we had Mati, Giovinco, we had Tevez, we had Llorente for strikers,
Pogba,
and then we had the best midfield, and we made it to the finals and unfortunately lost to a Barca team that was so overpowered. But Sarri has nothing to play around with, so if we do open our wallets a bit and get midfield strikers and the right left back and right back that we need, I really do think that we can be a big thing next year in the Champions League as well.
Yeah, the only thing that sucks is this COVID-19. I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot like all other teams, we lost a lot of money with ticket sales and that sort of stuff. So I just want to know.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure our mercato's over. I think I don't see anyone else like big. Maybe a couple small signings here and there, but I don't see any big players coming. I think the last big player would be is going to be Malik. Unfortunately, not a big fan of him at Juventus. I think he's way too much for a player that caliber, just for a backup. I haven't seen anything special to say. He's worth 40 to 50 million. On Napoli's part, it's smart. If you want Malik, your direct rival, you have to pay this much. But on Juve's part, it'd be stupid to engage into that and buy him when there's so many other players higher caliber that you would get for a couple of million more. But saying that, I definitely think Sarri did say he on Napoli it was a 3-year plan. I think he's taking his time. Obviously, you can't just go out. If Juventus doesn't have the money, well, I mean we do, but we don't like to spend the money like Man City or Man United, Chelsea, Madrid, Barca. We don't like to spend the money that much. We like to really save and build it off as a business. So it's going to take a while for us to really get the right puzzle pieces in. And I think Artur's, you can't really go out and buy like 5-6 different midfielders and just chuck them into the starting lineup. We got to really take our time and slow down with it. So I think it will take a little bit of time, but I think if we don't win the Champions League this season, I think it'll be Ronaldo's final chance to win next season. I don't see him, because in his eyes, he's obviously he's a team player, but he's also a personal player. When you're deemed one of the best in the world or one of the best of all time, you gotta strive for your personal glory and your personal brand. So for him to say that he's won the Champions League at Manchester, the Champions League at Madrid, the league titles everywhere he's went, the only thing that's missing for Ronaldo here at Juventus is the Coppa Italia and the Champions League, which he's really keen on winning that Champions League here. So if he doesn't, it's going to be deemed a failure. Like his time at Juventus is going to be deemed a failure, and he obviously doesn't want that. But I do see 2022 because he's only getting older. I do see at the end of the contract. I don't think he'll be staying with us. I think he'll be leaving on a free, whether it's to PSG or to the MLS.
Right.
One of those teams. He'll definitely be playing in 22. I definitely think. So if Juventus really want to win the Champions League, we got to capitalize this season, and if not this season, next season max, because I think that'll be the story, especially with Sadi. Such an underdog story with him being a banker and then moving up the ranks from City at D all the way to City almost knocking Juventus off their perch and then winning with Juventus. So it'd be a good story not only for Sadi but for the team in general. Obviously, we haven't won since 1996, so it'd just be a good telltale story, especially for the young players like Dybala, who's being compared to the modern day Del Piero, as he wants to stay, he wants to be captain one day.
Yeah.
So Matthew, just closing up here, just wrapping up the podcast here. So what's your final predictions for both games if you have to give a score prediction?
For Juventus and Napoli?
For Juventus-Lyon and then Napoli-Barca.
For Juventus and Lyon, I really do hope that Lyon does stay scoreless and we do have a 2-goal lead. I hope that we could keep the lead this time if we do have a lead in Turin tomorrow. And I do hope if Bernardeschi starts, he does wake up. He plays the game he did against Atletico.
Yeah.
We are hyping it up, saying that we're gonna make a comeback. So let's make it a reality, the comeback. And also for Napoli, I really do hope that their D wakes up a bit. Meret does have a chance, and if it's Ospina, I'd be just a little scared because I don't really have that full trust for Ospina. But I do really think that Napoli could prevail against Barcelona just because of the whole team is getting older, right? So they have fresher, new, young legs, Napoli, so they could take advantage of that.
Yeah, and for me, I've said it multiple times all over Twitter if you follow me. I think Juventus is going to win 3-0 against Lyon. I just think we're going to have to go win. We're willing to risk everything because we have nothing to lose at this point. We're already losing to Lyon. We've got to go right from the get-go and score early on to make a impact and make a statement. So I do think we'll win 3-0 against Olympique Lyonnais. And in terms of Napoli, I think that's going to be such a tougher game with Barca. They have similar struggles like Juventus do. They want to win, and obviously they've been in that turmoil in the knockout stages for some time now, losing to Roma and Liverpool. So I think they're going to go in similar to what Juventus has to be going on, trying to get that goal early on because they are at home. It's going to be at the Camp Nou. But I do think Napoli will prevail. I'm gonna say Napoli will win 3-1, which would be I think 4-2 on an aggregate. So hopefully those results come true, and hopefully all of Serie A wins in both European competitions, just to show the dominance and competitiveness of Serie A. And we have to go back to those glory days. It's unfortunate for Roma. But we'll get into the details of those games and in these games too. So on the next podcast, we'll be talking about Juventus, Lyon, Napoli, Barca, Roma, Sevilla, Inter, Getafe. So hopefully me and Danny are happy. Unfortunately, Franzo, he's gonna have to be frustrated a bit. But hopefully the rest of Serie A is happy. And a small surprise, we're just working behind the scenes. There might be a live watch along for the Juventus-Lyon game and possibly Napoli-Barcelona game. So just keep your eyes peeled to our Twitter page. We'll give you updates. You just gotta get a few hiccups to fix, and if we get those fixed in time, we'll definitely let everyone on Twitter and Instagram know that the live watch along is. Just keep your eyes peeled on our socials at Six Side Calcio. And it's been great talking to you, Matthew. Just if you want to shout anyone out, shout yourself out, shout your pages out, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to shout out Ronaldo. He better come back for us tomorrow. And I hope we do win. And for Napoli and their fans to not underestimate the power of Lionel Messi. That's all I got to say. Thank you for having me, by the way.
So where can the people follow you?
They can follow me at Matthew Grutta, or they can follow me at my grandfather's page at Unono Giovanni. We're 20K strong right now.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you heard him there. Go follow those pages. And thank you for coming on, Matthew. I meant a lot.
Yeah, no problem.
Fun talking to you.
Thanks for having me.
Hopefully we'll start celebrating and Yeah, definitely. So we'll all see you guys. Hopefully, if we get the A Cup 6, we'll all see everyone in the live watch along, cheering on Juventus, cheering on Italy, Serie A, and all of that good stuff.
Yep.
All right. So ciao ragazzi.
All right, take it easy.
I was nothing but loyal to you and from the start.